Plaintiffs Robert Drace and his wife Victoria say the defendant is Victoria's sister, but they didn't meet until they were teenagers because they were placed in foster care when they were born. Victoria allowed the defendant to move in with them, but they're suing for rent and emotional distress. Defendant Darlene Margretton says when Victoria was single, she and Darlene were best friends, but everything changed once she got with Robert. Darlene is countersuing for the value of a bed.
Start with you.
Well, Darlene and I are sisters. I'm the older one. I was taken away from our mom when I was a year old and placed into foster care where I was later adopted. She was born and placed into foster care as well and adopted when she was around 5. When she was 17, we reconnected on Facebook, and at 19 years old, she moved back in with me. We've had our ups and downs throughout the time since then because she tends to be vindictive and irresponsible, including sleeping with some of my exes.
Some?
Yes.
How many?
Well, she slept with one for sure, and she attempted to with another.
Okay.
But since then, we've kind of
gotten past that.
Yes, we've gotten past that and forgiven each other and moved on. So since then, we've reconnected, and I've learned, though, that she's still having issues with the irresponsibility, which is what brings us here today.
All right, let me get some background from you.
Well, like she said, we both finally met after being in separate homes at the age of 19, and I moved in with her. Since then...
How long after meeting did you move in with her?
Well, actually moving in was the first time I met her in person. We had spoken...
But how long after reconnecting on Facebook?
2 years.
Okay. How'd that go?
It was okay in the beginning, actually. We got along great, almost like we had never been separated, but that's when things started going rocky.
Like what?
Well, I feel like every single time she has a new person in her life, things get rocky between us. When both of us are single, we're like the best of friends.
Give me an example.
When she had her previous marriage, her husband and I didn't get along at all. And when they were going through divorce, it was another time I was staying with her, and he couldn't kick her out of the house, so he decided to kick me out, and I had to go find somewhere else to stay in less than 30 days notice.
Okay.
And that was a couple of years ago.
You had alienated yourself with the husband, staying out of their business.
Yes.
Did you chase after her exes and indeed get involved with one of them?
One of them, yes. Like she said, I got mad at her once and I messaged another one, but I never followed through with it. I was just really pissed off, so I messaged
You got
him.
mad and went after her? Okay.
It wasn't really an ex, it was just somebody that she had
yeah.
slept with once. But
All right. She'd only slept with him once. How do you know?
I'm saying she never dated them.
Oh, okay.
She had just been sleeping with them.
That's what I'm saying. How do you know they weren't dating?
Because we were friends. Well, she and I were
I'm not
staying
going,
with each other
I'm
at
not
that
going to
time.
the movie with this guy. I'm just going to let him come on through. How did it go? I'm trying to understand that conversation. Because you've thrown me off with that.
I mean, they
saying
were
that
talking,
the woman
but
is
it was
not,
never
and
like...
she got her man. Is this your man, your current man?
My husband, yes.
Yeah, your husband. You don't want to hear that type of nonsense. I'm not going to let you sit up here and say that. Going around the corner is dating. So unless he just came through for booty calls, they were dating. Try to make the woman look loose. She dated everybody she's been with. All right, let's get that out the way. All right, tell me exactly what the lawsuit is about.
We had let her move in with us in our old apartment last year in around September, October. We decided as a group in November, the three of us, that we were going to rent the current house my husband and I are staying in. We all signed the lease and agreed on the payment arrangements and everything else.
You have that?
Yes, I do. I have the lease, and here it is.
Thank you.
We agreed that it was $1,200 a month for rent. We had agreed that she would pay $460, which was a little bit more than a third because she had the biggest bedroom in the house. So we were doing fine for a while there. She had shown me that she was being responsible. She kept going to work and everything else. Right around springtime, she started realizing she had 2 weddings coming up, stuff like that, and she started falling behind on payments. My husband told her that if she didn't keep making her payments, she was going to have to find somewhere else to live because we couldn't afford to cover her part for her. About a couple days after that, she came in the room, told me and my brother-in-law that she was going to be moving out at the end of the month. That was on June 15th. She sent me and my husband a message a few minutes later on Facebook letting us know that she would be moving out at the end of the month. I have a copy of the text messages. And what she planned on doing, oh, hold on, I think he gave you too many. They're stapled.
Okay.
What she planned on doing as far as what she thought she should do with rent and everything else afterwards, that she wouldn't be paying rent or anything else. She said that she was moving out because she couldn't afford it and she was having problems with him. The can't afford it was, the fact that she said she had problems with him is not in there. So I sat down with her that day. I came up with a plan because she actually owes me money from a couple bills in the past from like 2016 and before. I came up with a plan with my brother-in-law right there. That she agreed to make payments between then and July 5th of next year to pay off what she owed for the remainder of the rent, for the lease, for the
You have any
utility
document
bills.
regarding that?
Yes, I do.
All right, let me have that. Ma'am, what do you want to tell me?
I feel like I gave them plenty of time notice. They were already planning on kicking me out anyways.
How do you know that?
They told me. I had went to those weddings. I had to take time off. One of those weddings was actually theirs. And I had to take time off from work, and I didn't have enough for that month. So they told me the next time I didn't have enough to pay for bills, they were going to kick me out anyway.
They told you right.
And I knew I wasn't going to have it. So I was going to leave because they were going to kick me out anyways.
Notice. She told me on the 15th she moved half of her stuff out the next day and another third of her stuff the day after that.
You got to give them 30-day notice. Nonetheless, you were part of the lease, so you can't just do it. That's not how that goes.
They were planning on kicking me out.
Pardon me?
They were planning on kicking me out.
I don't see any evidence of that. And they were planning on having you evicted if that's what you're using. That's interchangeably with kick out. Yes, if you don't pay your rent, that's what happens. You get evicted. You left on your own because you could not afford it. And you left before the end of the lease. You can't speculate on what they could have done. They may have had a change of heart. They may have said, yeah, well, you're getting out of here because you don't pay it. And then she might say, well, you know, we're sisters. We didn't spend much time. Let's give her a pass for another couple months. So just because they may have told you if you don't pay your rent in the future, you got to go. That's not reason for you to get out of a lease. So emotional distress, how does she owe for that?
Well, we have children, and we were already cutting it pretty close on bills. I had just started doing in-home childcare because my job coming back from maternity leave was third shift, and it's really hard to do that. Since she moved out, we've had to cover not only her $460 a month in rent, but we've also had to cover her one third of the utilities as well as everything else. And it's put us so far behind that he had to take on a second job. So we hardly ever see him because he works 7 days a week. I had to take on extra children to watch where I wasn't sleeping.
Well, unfortunately, I can't give you emotional distress for not being able to cover your bills. When a roommate moves out.
She actually caused damages in the house as well that we are now having to find a way to cover up the money for.
Damages or emotional distress?
Emotional distress.
Well, the emotional distress, I feel like the damages and us trying to figure out how to come up with the money for that at the end of the lease.
Like I say, being short of money is not something you can get emotional distress for. You assume the risk when you have roommates. You're assuming the risk that that roommate might not stay true to their word. And that risk, if you assume it and it occurs, you have to deal with the consequences. You can't say, oh, so I'm pulling my hair out, I'm nervous, I'm mad, I'm crying. Oh, so you owe me money for being mad and crying. A lot of people got roommates that do them wrong. That's the risk you assume when you take on a roommate. The bed, how do they owe you for a bed, ma'am?
Well, when I was leaving, I was told the next day by Robert that by the end of the time I got off of work, I had to get all of my stuff out of the house. And I wasn't able to get everything because I didn't have a
What happened to your bed?
Enough. I ended up having to leave it there, and I told my sister, well, since I left it, just it's about $850 worth, so go ahead and sell it and put it towards what you wanted me to put for rent this month. And I get a text message a month later saying she was selling it for $100. I told her that's not happening, and she ended up selling it for only $200.
You have that?
I have the printout of how much the bed was cost.
No, any of those conversations.
I have text messages regarding that as well as a witness statement. She had
Well,
told
text
me
messages
that.
are typically most reliable evidence, so let's see what it says.
She had told me that she didn't have room at the new house to fit the bed and that I could sell it to use towards some of the old bills that she owed me from before we moved in the house. I posted it on one of the apps like OfferUp or something like that. I messaged her one day to
How much
let
did
her
you
know.
get for it?
I got $200 for it to go towards an own phone bill that she owed me for. That's on my credit score.
All right, and what is the lowest you're willing to take? And your response was $250, but try and get at least $300.
At that point, yes, but
Oh, at that
I was
point,
selling
you told me
the bed for
you told me your ultimate response was no. Your claim is dismissed, and yours is granted for the rent only, $2,760. Have a good day, ladies.
I'm hoping that we can put all this past us for the sake of her kids, because I don't want to lose out on their lives.
I hope the same thing. I just hope that throughout this that she learns some responsibility as well.
Yeah, I completely agree. Everything's workable.
Plaintiff Brittany Powell says growing up, the defendant was a great big sister. But now she's self-righteous and lives beyond her means. Brittany claims she loaned the defendant $6,500 and is suing her today for $4,000. Defendant Constance Lee says Brittany thinks she's better than everyone, and that's why she refers to herself as the Queen Bee. Constance insists she never borrowed any money from Brittany, and she's countersuing for emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Well, Your Honor, this is my sister Constance. We call her Cece. Growing up, she was a great big sister. She taught me how to ride a bike. She taught me how to braid hair. However, as I've gotten older, she continued to want to treat me like a child. She wants to tell me what to do. She's self-righteous. She lives way above her means. We go to Walmart, go shopping. I'm shopping on a budget, trying to buy the things I need for my family. She's right next to me.
That's why y'all call her CC.
She's
Card cracking.
Her cart is filled to the rim with things that she doesn't need. She buying clothes, shoes. She's buying video games for her kids.
I can't afford those things.
I know you
I
can.
can afford everything that I buy.
Car crackers can afford anything they want
Your
to buy.
Honor, if she could afford
They
it, we
write
wouldn't.
CC. CARDCRACKER.
If she could afford it, Your Honor, we wouldn't be here today.
I'm just, she knows I'm kidding with her.
Instead of washing her kids' clothes, she go and buy new clothes, Your Honor.
I know you don't buy your kids new clothes instead of washing them now. That ain't got to do with making a good living. That has to do with trifling. Let me hear from you.
Okay, so this is my sister Brittany, as she stated. It's a 6-year difference between us, and everything she said about me being a good big sister, that is true. I am the second oldest, and it's 10 of us. So it was a lot on my mom, a lot on my father. So of course, I would do everything that I can to help them out. Got a job at 14 to try to help out. So I would help buy shoes and things for them so that my mom wouldn't have to have so much stress.
Okay. Who is your witness?
This is my mother.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
She's both
you
of
do
ours.
Be quiet. She take care of her. Did you buy them leopard shoes for her? Did you buy those?
No,
she did not.
Did you buy those Versace's?
No,
that
I did not.
Roberto Cavalli shirt she has on?
No, she did not.
Go ahead.
No, she did not. So my sister, she doesn't realize she's not the oldest. She wants to tell everybody what to do. My sister went to college.
She's not the oldest.
We all
Mom.
I went to college as well, but she got a degree.
I want to get back to this buying clothes instead of washing them.
Okay.
I'll wear my clothes 3 years. Everything I wear, they last at 3 years,
So,
unless the hole get in the underwear earlier. But 3 years.
I have 2 washers, 2 dryers. So we do wash our clothes. So, back to Brittany. she's high-minded. She thinks she's better than everybody. She's the queen bee in our family. Nobody calls her queen bee but herself. She's talking about me being Cece. This is our queen bee.
That is not true, Your Honor.
We're
Yes.
gonna get into this long, because you're talking real big over there now
She
to be
sure
owing
is.
somebody some money. Let me hear from you. What
Your
about
Honor,
this loan?
July 8th, Your Honor, of 2016, she asked to borrow $6,500 from me.
Not Miss Grand, all
Yes.
the money in the world.
Yes.
Go ahead.
To pay some property taxes for her house. So me being good-hearted, the queen bee, she says, loaned her the $6,500.
A lot of money to loan.
And she told
She
me.
didn't loan me anything.
And she told me that she will repay it in installments.
Well, you got $6,500 laying around.
I save. I don't live above my means, Your Honor.
That's right.
I save my money, and when I need it,
you're
I have
how
it.
old?
I'm 31.
And you had $6,500.
And she learned that from me.
I'll give you a hand on
She
that.
learned it from me.
Just for having it.
She learned it from me.
I learned it from my
How's she
parents.
gonna learn it
Your
from you? You owe her the money.
I don't
Well,
owe
you got
her.
it from her.
I learned
That's
it from
exactly
my
the
parents,
problem.
Your
I don't
Honor.
owe her.
All right.
So I was at cosmetology school. Cece and my mom drove out to Maywood, picked me up. We went to Chase Bank. I took
No,
out
you all are in here in Chicago.
and yes.
Oh yeah, you definitely CC. Go ahead.
I gave her the money for her loan, for her taxes. Here's my
Problem.
proof.
Let me hear from you, ma'am.
Problem. She did not give me anything, nor did I borrow anything from her. So the way the story actually goes is, yes, I had property taxes that were sold before I bought my home. So when I bought my home, of course they sends me this long letter. I bought my house with cash. $12,500 was the price of my house. So they sent me this letter that the previous owner basically had their taxes. So regardless of what that is in my name now, I have to take responsibility for that. So just like she's saying she saves money, I save money too. So I saved up $8,900 and I actually handed off to my mom for savings because I didn't want to touch the money.
Good.
Lo and behold, whatever happened, the money was gone. So when I come to the understanding, I'm asking my mom,
I
like,
don't know what happened to the money.
I didn't know what happened to the money. So I'm talking.
Versace, baby. Versace got your money. Roberto Cavalli got your money, baby.
So my mom is telling me that someone in the family ended up taking the money. So I'm asking my mom, and my mom is kind of scared to tell me because she don't want me to know that the money is gone. I had no idea that I was going to have a property tax bill when I started saving that money. It just happened.
Yep, it happened.
So at that point, my mom took responsibility because I gave the money to her and to ask Brittany or
Your Honor,
whomever
I
in the
put
family.
money in her
ma'am.
hand.
Quiet.
She was asking anybody that had available funds. It wasn't necessarily Brittany. It was anybody.
I put
Did
the
you
money,
hand the money to her?
I put the money in her hand, not into my mom's hand, and she told me she was going to pay it back.
Ma'am, did she
Lie.
put it in your hand?
No, that's a lie.
Oh my
Who
God,
put it in
she
your
is
hand?
lying.
My mother gave it to me the very next day.
Now, if I bring your mother up here, you know I'm gonna believe her.
Your Honor, my mother,
Give me
Cece,
some text. Give me
her-
something in writing, because
Your
if I
Honor,
bring
this
your
is
mother
proof
up
that
here,
I
I'm gonna
have-
believe her.
This is
Nothing's
proof
in writing.
that I have loaned her money multiple times, and my mom is a witness for
This
both of us.
time we're talking
Right,
about.
this time, multiple times I'd have paid her
Call my
multiple
mama to
times.
the
What do
stand
you
because
have
my mama
regarding?
was there.
Damn.
My mother is a
ma'am,
witness.
we just gonna go with what your mother said. You're gonna keep interrupting me. Come on up, ma'am. State your name. What do you want to tell me about this?
My name is Consuela Piles, and I'm both of these wonderful ladies' mother. Like they did say, you know, Brittany, she does save her money, and so do Cece.
Good.
We have about 25 properties in Roseland, and I'm a pastor of a church, and that's what we do. We like to build on the community.
Love it. Love it. I love it.
So when something happens in my family, I just believe family should just give. I'm just that person. You know, Brittany may say, you know, I tell them all the time, you can have $5,000 in the bank, and if your brother lights is off, that's a shame if you don't go get his lights on. That's just in my heart to take care of my family. Good. So when I found out that Cece house was gonna be sold, it touched my heart because I done bought everybody else houses. Both of them got houses, new houses, no mortgage. They got 2 houses apiece,
Beautiful.
no mortgage.
Beautiful.
None of my children have mortgage. Out of 10 children,
Beautiful.
nobody have a mortgage.
Beautiful.
Right.
So when this happened, when I found out that the money was gone, somebody had went into my room and stole the money. I went directly to Cece and I told her, I said, Cece, the money is gone. Cece said, I'm going to see if my husband can get a loan to save my house. At that point, I said, do you know he gonna get it or not? She said, Mom, I don't know. So me being a mom, I said, well, let me send out a SOS to the family. So I sent out a SOS and I started calling all of my girls, all my sons. Of course, my sons didn't answer, but my girls, because they had to deal with their wife. If I can save one of them, I'm going to do it.
How did it go down?
So when I called Brittany on the phone, I said, Brittany, do you have any money you can give Cece to pay her property tax? I said, Cece's gonna get a loan and then she can pay it back in installments. Brittany said, Mom, I do have some money that I can give y'all for the property taxes. I said, okay, when can we get it? Brittany said, I will give y'all the money the next day. Come to my school and I'll give y'all the money. I said, listen, if she don't do right, Brittany, I'll do right. That's how it went down.
Did I give the money and did she pay her property tax with the money that I gave her?
Yes, she paid her property tax.
Okay. You didn't give it to me.
Matter of fact, Judge, she paid it that day. When we left that office, we went straight downtown and paid the property tax.
Nor was the conversation ever with me.
All three of us was in the car, Judge. All three of us was in the car when we talked about this.
Have you ever been around when the three of you all were together and they discussed a loan to you from her?
Okay, the conversation between Brittany and my mom had nothing to do with me, nor was I there.
Did you hear it?
No, I did not.
Okay,
That is a lie. That is a lie.
Until the point.
All three of us was in the car.
No, until the point that we was driving to Brittany's studio.
Was all three of us in the car?
My mother never told me what we were going there for.
In the car. And when I gave the money, what didn't she say? I will pay you back in installments if I don't get the loan.
When she gave my mama the money, then I knew it was coming from Brittany at that moment.
Mama counted the money out.
Beforehand.
Once I got it from Chase, Mama counted the money out.
Let me tell you what we have here. We have a situation where if she agreed to repay you, she owes you.
She didn't agree.
Who didn't agree?
Me and my mama never talked about it. Cece told me her husband was going to do it.
You and your mother never talked about paying the money?
Cece talked to me about paying the money.
No, I said you and your mother. You just said you didn't. Okay, your mother said y'all did. Have a good day. I believe her. Your claim is dismissed. What was your 2004?
Oh, my God.
Right, you going to tell me you and your mother never had a conversation.
No,
your mother described a very specific conversation.
No,
you think
I think
I'm gonna believe y'all
misunderstanding.
never talked about it after she gave me all those details?
No, not about me and her, me and my sister.
Money, the subject at hand. Did you and your mother ever talk about the subject at hand? I don't know what you were denying because all we're talking about is one thing.
Yes, we did talk about it.
All right, and did she agree that she would reimburse you if your sister didn't pay it?
No, she told me that my sister was going to pay me
I believe
back.
your mother.
Okay.
All right, so I'm sorry, I believe your mother over you unless you have a written communication to contradict that, do you?
No, I do not.
All right, so your claim is dismissed. I believe your mother. You can add her on and or sue her later because she guaranteed you will get your money back. So essentially you could sue both of them and ultimately both owe you. So that's my decision. The $2,000 is for what? Your counterclaim.
Emotional distress.
For what?
Because she has been talking about me to my whole family.
You spent up all your money and now you go and borrow from somebody.
She has been talking about me to everybody about this.
Fabulous. And then this woman, then you go to her.
Why would this even be legible?
Beg for what you need and then buy what you want.
If I didn't give her the house,
Your claim
it
is
been lost.
dismissed. Yours is as well. Your mom has guaranteed the payment. Have a good day. That's my judgment.
Don't loan anybody money.
Don't listen to nothing she say.
Don't loan anybody money.
About that.
Don't let money separate the family. It's not that important.
Right. I'm just a person that didn't get anything out of it.
Plaintiff Radina Abbott says the defendant is her sister, and she has a severe drinking problem. Radina claims the defendant also has anger issues, and she was arrested for assaulting her. Radina is suing her sister for rent and property damages. Defendant Wendina Abbott says although she looked up to Radina, she claims Radina is a manipulative bully. Wendina claims after Radina gave her a black eye, she defamed Wendina on social media. So she's countersuing for emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
The only reason we're here is because my sister has a bad drinking problem where she blacks out. She don't remember anything. Growing up, it was
How often does that happen, to your knowledge?
probably once a week, maybe.
That's a lie.
Blacks out once a week?
Yes.
That's a lie.
Go ahead.
It was us growing up as kids. We got put in foster care in 2008. They had put us in the same home together, but for her being a troubled teen, they had removed her from the home. 2 years later, they tried again. They put us in the same foster home again. There was an incident where I accidentally stepped on her foot, and we had got into a fist fight. They removed her again from the home.
You stepped on your sister's foot.
We was packed in the car, yes.
And you all had a fist fight over that?
Yes.
How did the fight end?
She started chasing me up the street with a knife, Your Honor.
Okay. She was trying to murder you
I know, Your Honor.
for stepping on her feet. They do that in prison.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's only with the guys who are serving life because they can't get no more time. But even if you're short of life, they're not even doing that in prison.
Right.
You tell me about your life, ma'am.
I grew up in a bunch of foster homes. Raydina was literally the only one I looked up to. That day that she accidentally stepped on my foot did not happen the way she's saying. We were actually in church on an Easter day.
In church at that. On God's resurrection day.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
She did not step on my foot. She put her heel in my leg. And
accidentally?
Yeah. But we went in the house and this other foster kid was running her mouth. And me and her were gonna fight. She stepped into it and me and her started fighting because she tried to stop me from fighting that girl.
All right.
I do not have a drinking problem, Your Honor. I grew up smoking marijuana and only smoking marijuana. Up until recently, I stopped cold turkey and it's been 3 months now because I am on probation. Pretty much growing up with Raydina, she's been some of a bully. I'm the baby sister, so you know the influence on everything. So me and Raydina did get split up because we did start fighting. What sisters don't fight? She's a very manipulative person. It's her way or it's the highway. If I don't do something that she wants me to do, she threatens to call my probation officer.
That's a lot.
She's done it multiple times.
Never have.
She also, if I didn't do something she wanted to do, like smoke my weed with her, smoke my cigarettes with her, she would actually threaten to call an ex-boyfriend of mine and let him know that I'm doing something I'm not supposed to be doing, or I'm talking to so-and-so, knowing that this
on
man...
you or just telling on you things that you didn't want people to know.
Knowing this man would put his hands on me. And that happened multiple times. There's been multiple times I've been beat up because of her by my ex-boyfriend.
Is that true?
No, Your Honor, that's not true.
All right.
Actually, on an incident in December 9th, 2018, her birthday, we had went out for a celebration. She had got drunk. We had came home to that same ex-boyfriend at the apartment. Well, they got into an altercation. He left. She was trying to follow him.
That's
so
a
I
lie.
got her I tried to get her into the apartment so he didn't hurt her.
That's a lie.
In the midst of getting her into the apartment, she had punched me while I was holding my kid.
That's a lie.
I have a police report.
Let's see that, please.
I got her
Doyle.
for domestic violence, and the same night she got charged with resisting arrest. It took like 6 officers to carry her down the steps.
That must be some crystal meth. That's the only thing that make you strong and crazy like that.
Listen, Your Honor,
She's grinning. She know I know. Go ahead, and he's grinning too. Yeah, that's the only thing give you superpowers like that. The rest of it, cocaine geek you up, but you don't get stronger. Heroin, you just nod out, so you definitely ain't doing much. All right. What happened with this case? Was she convicted?
I went downtown the following day that she had court, and I told them I would like to drop the charges because she is my little
Right.
sister and it was her birthday.
Normal.
I felt really bad, you know?
This happened when?
December 9th, 2018.
And obviously you all moved in together or you lived together then because you're suing her for unpaid rent and property damage.
I have forgave her for that, Your Honor. She had moved into my 2-bedroom apartment in March of 2019.
What was the agreement?
The agreement was, well, the first month she didn't have a job, so I let her stay. April, her friend Kevin, the witness, had offered to pay the $150 for her rent.
April was only to be $150?
Yes, because she was kind of working, babysitting, so he offered to
pay
help.
it?
Yes, he did.
Did he?
He promised. No, he did not. So we had agreed after she got a job, it was $250 a month.
Okay.
Mind you, she had 2 jobs. April 22nd, 2019, I had woke up to her urinating on my floor in my bedroom on my carpet.
Okay.
I had woke up to it and I had asked her to clean it up. Well, then she had went haywire and said that I was out to get her. I was wanting her in jail. I didn't want to.
Tell the full story.
I am.
No, you're not.
She had said that I was out to get her. I want her in jail and all this. So she had went haywire, right? She was throwing things in my bedroom. My daughter sleep on my bed. I had pushed her out of my bedroom because I'm feared, like I didn't want my daughter to get hurt. So as me pushing her out of my bedroom, she had fell. I guess she had blacked her eye.
I didn't fall. You're a liar.
I
Fell
had
and blacked her eye.
Yes. She was drunk, Your Honor.
You sound like them women beating men.
No. I didn't.
I have a picture of the black eye, Your
Let's
Honor.
see it, please. And you tell me what happened. You tell me what happened with this fight, and then we'll go back to asking you about the rent.
So pretty much I was sleepwalking. I did urinate on her floor.
Sleepwalking.
Yeah, I was sleeping. I got woke up to her recording me, laughing at me. It was all a joke. And then when she wanted me to clean it up, I said, I'm tired. I'll do it in the morning.
When she was taping you, had you already urinated?
I was urinating on her floor as she was taping me.
Is that true?
Not to mention she put it on
I
Facebook.
took a picture.
Pardon me?
I had took a picture of her
She was recording
urinating
me.
on my floor.
She also posted it on Facebook. I have pictures of that too.
Recording?
The pictures, I guess.
This is the post I have posted on Facebook.
Let's see it.
And it's
And
still
then-
up to this day.
Why you do that?
Because she was trying to press charges on me for blacking her eye, Your Honor. From protecting my kid.
That is not true.
I also have pictures of the damages in my house.
That's not true. Your
and
Honor, she
messages
came at me crazy.
From Mr. Green saying
She
that
says she was sleepwalking. What's your observation of
Your
what
Honor, I got
happened?
messages saying she don't even remember that night.
I do
So she
remember that
Maybe
night.
she was sleepwalking.
No,
If she doesn't
was
remember-
blacked out. She was pretty drunk, Your Honor. It was like the night of December when she had
That's
hit
a
me with my
lie.
daughter.
But you said you
You're a
have
liar.
messages where she doesn't remember anything.
Right.
So then that means either sleepwalking or blacked out, with both of which you say she does.
Right.
So what happened after that incident? Did she move or what happened?
She had got off my leash, Your Honor. She had
Voluntarily.
wrote my landlord a letter saying she wanted off of my
And
leash.
he allowed her off?
For the safety of my daughter, yes.
Okay, all right. And so what are you suing her for? What months?
For April, it was the 150, and then the year after that for the 250 because she had signed my
For the
lease.
entire year, but you said the landlord let her out.
Right.
It was my choice as well because I didn't
So
want
how
her
are you
to
suing her if you let her out?
Because she still owes me for the year. It was the
You
whole
let her
agreement
out of it. The landlord let her out and you let her out. That's what you just said.
to protect my kid, yes.
If you let somebody out, they don't owe you anymore.
Okay.
If the landlord says, okay, I'll let you off the lease, ma'am, he's saying, ma'am, you no longer owe me anything. Those 12 months, she no longer owes the landlord because she no longer has a rental agreement with the landlord.
It was a verbal agreement, but I do have messages from him saying he could not pay her rent because she was not living there.
He could not pay on her behalf,
Yes.
obviously.
Because
Yes.
I
Let's
was
see,
not
does
living
that mean, does it say an amount? Because she says it was what? The
There was
agreement?
no agreement but to help to clean, cook, or whatever. I don't owe her anything.
Ma'am, he tells you he can't pay you because she's not living there. That's exactly what he says.
Right,
He says
that's
he
for
will
the
fix
month of
stuff.
April.
He says he will fix the stuff, but he can't pay the rent unless she lives there.
Sir.
Yeah, stand up.
I
State your
did
name.
agree to help.
State your name.
My name is Kevin Green.
Uh-huh.
I did agree to help fix that door, but she would always want it on her time.
And what do you have regarding the property damages?
I have.
You have an estimate for the repair?
Yes, from my landlord.
What is it for?
It's for $205 for the
fix
carpet
what?
cleaner, the door, and the light fixture with the labor.
Here's that saying, never mind.
Let's see it, please.
Because
Never
you told
mind
me
what?
to take you to court.
She said, don't worry about paying for it. I'll just put a restraining order and take you to court for it.
You told me to.
Okay, and that's what she did. Your counterclaim for emotional distress. How does she owe you?
Because for one, she posted not only that one thing on Facebook, but she has posted my name on status. Not to mention, here's the post. All these messages of her just constantly harassing me and Kevin about all of that day. It has been nothing but chaos
What did you
since that
say
has
when
happened.
she was harassing you? What did you say? Show me a response that you made.
I don't have a response because I had her blocked, so she had no choice.
How do you know
but
she
to-
was harassing you if she
Because
was
she was
blocked?
going through
She
Kevin.
repeatedly texted
Okay,
me.
so show me what she said
And
to
we
Kevin.
were living together.
Show me the
Here's-
communications
harassing.
with Kevin then.
Kevin said, I told you I would fix the door and stuff. Raydina said, nope, I will get a restraining order and my complex will fix it if I reported it to the police. So I will give them her name, show them pictures of the messages and everything that you guys want to play this game. She'll do her 3 months. With me being on probation, that's proof that she threatens to call my PO on me all the time. And then she said, have a great day.
Let me see what she put on the internet. She showed the picture of you urinating.
Your Honor,
on
I
the
got
ground.
a photo of something she posted herself on Facebook.
Let's see that. What is it? Let's see it. Okay, so
That
you
was
already
years ago,
posting.
girl.
It
you
was
already-
2018, the
you
date's
already
on the
were
bottom.
posting.
She lived at her sister's house, her other sister's house when that
It says the date on the
Yeah,
bottom,
you
Your
already
Honor.
were posting provocative stuff, showing your body, so you were used to that. She didn't do anything extreme. So, ma'am, I'm going to give you 3 months of rent. That's sufficient time for you to have gotten a roommate, even though the landlord let her off. I'll grant you your $750 and property damage $205 for that. So that's $955.08 is your judgment. And your claim is dismissed. Hers is granted.
I don't need it around my daughter. I'm sticking to myself and focusing on my kid.
I don't want nothing to do with her because she's a habitual liar and she needs money, so she'll keep using anybody that she can anyways.
Plaintiff Janiqua Smith says the defendant is her younger sister, and they grew up watching their mother struggle with alcoholism. Janiqua claims she is now distant from her family because they all look down on her, and she's suing her sister for the balance due on a loan. Defendant Felicia Smith says Janiqua thinks she's better than the rest of their family. And even though their mother has been sober for 3 years, Janiqua still won't let her see her daughter. Felicia's countersuing her sister for harassment.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
All right. Felicia is one of my younger sisters. We grew up watching my mom struggle with alcohol abuse. Fast forward till now, I'm distant with my family because I feel like an outsider.
Why are you distant?
Because every time I come around, I feel like everybody is either looking down on me or I've even heard that I'm bougie here and there. But so I just stay away from them. My relationship.
How many people are you referring to?
My mom, my sisters, my aunts, my cousins here and there.
What could they be looking down on you about? You haven't heard exactly what it is they talk about you, say
Well,
about
I wouldn't say look down on me. I just know they're judging me. They say I feel like I'm better than everybody ever since I got with my boyfriend. So I just stay away because I used
He
to.
made you better?
Yeah.
All right, so why don't you just tell him? Yeah, he made me better. He made me a better person.
I just feel like in a way nobody wants to see you doing better. So.
Your mother? Okay. None of your family members you just mentioned, you don't believe they want to see you doing better?
They will say they do, but when you start doing better, then it's, oh, she thinks she's better than everybody.
That happens, but it just is what it is. A lot of family members, and I'm a true believer that all family members talk about each other at some point in time. Who knows when your day is and who knows when her day is. I got news for you. Both y'all getting talked about by your family. I'm getting talked about by my family, much as I try and help. My wife talk about me too, I'm sure. I walked in on her on the phone. It's no good. He won't do nothing around here. He think because he on TV, he don't have to do nothing. Oh, but I got news for him. Caught my wife saying that.
Right.
I still go home. All right? I don't want that to happen. That's all. I always try to keep families together the best I can. And that's some insight I want to share with you all and other folks out there. Yeah, family members talk behind your back for whatever reason. They may be legitimate reason, but probably not. But that's just human nature for all people to talk about somebody. And typically people talk about the people they know best. And they know you best. Let me hear from you. Give me some background on
we're sisters. We're not close at all.
Why? Think because of the dysfunctional situation you all grew up with the alcohol abuse?
Yeah, and that made her, like, not, as she said, that she thinks, like, we think that she thinks she's better than us, just due to the point that she don't like to come around. She would say, like, she would talk about our family a lot. Like my mom, she's been sober for like 3 years. She's got over her drinking habit. And she don't give her credit for that. She don't let her watch her kids, barely bring her kids around. She didn't let my mom know when her baby was born. She didn't even let the family know when she had her daughter. So that's why our family's like kind of distant.
Any of that true?
That's not true.
None of it?
Nope.
Okay. Go ahead.
My daughter, when I had her, she was all natural. It was boom, boom, boom. Like, I didn't have time. But when I did get settled in and get to a room, I text everyone saying that she was there at 4 o'clock in the morning, even Felicia. And then that's when, like, a little later, Felicia told me my mom's phone was off and my sister's phone was off. So my other sister texted me, like, it's crazy. I got to find out through social media that your daughter was born. I didn't know their phone was off.
Did you get it at 4 a.m.?
I was the only one who knew. And
how did you get it?
Because she called me.
Well, then, makes sense. If she reached out to you, the reason she couldn't reach her others because their phones was off.
No, their house phone wasn't. My mom and sisters.
Who dials house phones anymore? I don't even remember my own house phone number. I have no clue what my house phone number is. Go ahead.
Before she gave birth, she's told my mom, I don't want you there. I don't want you to be around when my baby is born.
Did you say that?
I've never directly said I do not want my mom there.
You said indirectly, and if so, why?
No, I'm not directly. I did tell my mom I didn't want her in the room when I give birth. I didn't say I didn't want her to come see me at the hospital. I wanted to be just me and my boyfriend.
Correct.
Because with my other 2 children, everybody was there. I wanted to share that moment with just me and him.
Is that what she said? She said, I don't want you in the room?
She told her she didn't want her there, the hospital or the delivery room.
The whole hospital?
Yes.
I don't believe you. Go ahead. Tell me why you're suing her.
So on March 29th, she gave me a text message asking me, can she borrow $300 to pay her car note? And she would pay me $350. And I agreed. I cashed apped her $300. We had understanding, though, that she was going to give me the money back on April 2nd. April 1st comes, and she emails me asking me, can she pay me back on the 11th? For I don't even remember what reason, and I told her no because I need my money. My rent is due on Friday. And I've tried calling, texting, messenger, email. I've tried ever since that day. I haven't heard from her. And I want to say a couple weeks ago, I was just having a conversation with my mom, and she told me that she cashed at me $100 that I didn't know anything about because she was the only one that I would use the Cash App for. So I did check it. She did give me $100. I think it was the 25th of April. But since then, I haven't got anything.
The 2 good ladies who nobody likes, everybody talk about, but they come to her to borrow money.
Always. That's the only time I
hear
hear
from her. You borrow money from the 2 good ladies that nobody likes?
It's not that we don't like her, and yes.
You borrow from her?
Yes.
Why do you think she loaned it to you? You said she didn't like y'all.
She only loans me things when she's gonna get interest to it. Like, that's the only reason. As you can see, she said she loaned me $300 to get $350 back.
Have you ever loaned her money before?
Always. Has she not got
Does she
interest?
always loan you money?
No, I wouldn't say always, but if she does, she has came through a few times. Don't get me wrong, we are sisters. We have had good times.
No, that's not what you've been saying. You say we don't get along. That's first thing out your mouth. Then you went on to describe how she resents your mother, you, the family, so much so she won't even let you in the hospital. But she'll let you get that money. Go ahead, ma'am. Tell me about the loan. Have you paid her, and if not, why?
Well, I tried to pay her.
Why, and what happened?
Okay, so I was trying to reach her, and before all this, she made like Facebook posts and she blocked me.
When you tried to reach her and you couldn't reach her, then what did you do?
Then she had contacted my mom saying that she was gonna. Well, she came. I guess she came to be in my house.
What is the deal? You haven't paid her because you haven't seen her. You couldn't reach her.
She started harassing me. That's why.
Okay. How does she harass you?
She came to my house. She was beating on my door when I wasn't there, threatening that she's my life is going to cost way more than this. Like she's going to damage my car, my house.
Did you do this? You threaten her?
I did not. I said things are going to get expensive, and I meant when I was talking about court. I did go to her house.
Correct. That's what happens. You go to court, it is expensive.
Yeah.
You're right. One way or the other, win or lose. Go ahead.
I did go to her house, and I was beating on the door, blowing the horn. I knew for a fact she was there because my mom told me she was there. She had just left my aunt's. I didn't get a response or anything like that. So after I left there, I did text her. When I called her, I wasn't blocked. When I called, I've been blocked all this time. I called and I left a voicemail, and I did say things are going to start to get expensive. But then I went home. My mom talked some sense into me, asked me just calm down, just let me talk to her. And
was that only incident?
No. Like, for instance, she texted my child's father, trying to ruin my life and try to tell me. She said a lot to him about my other child's father.
You think that was related to the loan?
Yeah, like, I have the messages, like, she...
Read it.
There's a lot of cursing from her.
Let me see it. It's relating to the loan?
Yes.
Just sat there and lied to my mom talking about he was asleep. When I went to your house, blew the horn and banged on the door, I hear his talking. Then you're tough where you was at work, but the whole time you're at home. Were you all there?
No, neither one.
Yes. How do you know it happened?
I wasn't there.
I know. So how do you know it? What happened?
Because after she sent the message, she actually did come to my house.
She did what?
She actually did come to my house, beating on the door and stuff.
No, I'm talking about the time that she came beating on your house twice?
Yeah, and beeping horn and stuff. She would tell you.
All right, and which one are you suing for? Both?
Just one.
All right, so which one is that? The one you were there for?
Yes.
Why didn't you come out and answer the door?
I was in the tub.
No one else was there?
No, it's just me and my kids and their babies or too small.
Okay, the man wasn't there?
No, he really wasn't there.
You say
he was there. My mom said that the only reason why I knew she was there because my mom said she was there.
You have evidence of the second banging on the door? Did you go to the house twice, banging on the door?
I think I went twice, yeah.
Banging on the door?
No, I knocked on the door.
Did you call first?
She has me blocked.
Okay. You have her blocked?
No.
I don't believe you. I believe you're using this harassment claim to get out of the expense that you legitimately owe her. All right. Judgment for the plaintiff. Your claim is dismissed. Have a good day.
Yeah, I'm fine. I wish her the best. She just don't talk to me.
Not sisters, as far as I see it.